It's
Yes.
okay. We are now underway, and we'll start with an approval of the August minutes. Do we have a motion?
I'll make it.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? Any discussion or corrections or no?
Good.
I thought it looked good. So thank you, Lynn. Um, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. So let's go, Joe, treasurer report.
Yep. Okay, as of right now, we have $18,644.93. That's it.
Okay, yeah, we haven't done much. Okay.
No. Thank you.
Yeah, instead, were you gonna say something? Okay, I don't have a formal report. Everything updates for TBA, street signs, community day, everything will be part of the regular agenda. So we can go on. Update on businesses in Thompson. You all got the 4 new businesses for this month. Green Valley Driven Junk Removal, Gnarly Nancy Salvage Company, and Rutherford's Removal and Contracting. So it's nice, 4 in 1 month. We're doing okay with that. TBA membership, they're up to 64. There are some new names and new faces. We've lost some and gained some, so we're still at 64. We did finally get Neil to join with Thompson Wine and Spirit and the Splash Tunnel Car Wash. Anything else? Anybody have anything regarding businesses? Open, closed?
Yeah, I do. I just discovered about a week or so ago that the property on Riverside Drive, where they were going to be selling cars,
Yes.
is on the market.
Yes, it is.
Yep,
I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
They just bought it and they're already selling it.
Yeah, that was Bert, one of the principals from the pit stop that had bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just heard it was on the market.
Yep.
Oh
A
well.
week ago.
Is that the one with the cell tower?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, cell
Yeah.
tower's like
Correct.
right smack in the middle of it. Because I
Yeah.
looked at that. I was looking through the MLS last night and just saw that.
Yeah, that
I
used to
had
be a
hoped
main company.
I had hopes for that because that little stretch of Riverside with Smokes and Spokes and Main Street Gelato and Riverside and T-Rex,
Yeah,
we could have had a
exactly.
little strip there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's for sale. It was always a masonry company. They used to sell masonry supplies for decades, and but the cell tower is separate from the property. I don't know that the cell tower is going with the property, because usually those things, they have a 100-year lease or something, so it's in the best interest of the owner to keep that. So, but
Yeah, right.
That's the latest in what businesses. I don't know if they're going to close, or if they're already closed.
Yeah, and now that I think of it, this came up at the Northeast Realtors meeting that somebody mentioned that was for sale. All right. Anyway, the old business we have is the Business Street signs. I had talked to Kelly Janest. They did take down Thompson Auto Care. We're still waiting for the Superior Storage sign. As I mentioned, what we have on our flyer, the shipping cost went up $5. So I'm going to change that on the flyer. And I've been waiting to hear from Kelly regarding the cost of a post if a business needed a post, because if there's not already one there, and I had forgotten this way back when we started the sign program. If there wasn't one at that location, they would have to put up one of those those posts, and it requires brackets and things for the signs. She just this afternoon she got back to me and said that what we charge covers everything, even if someone needs a post. So I have a new form ready, and I'm going to give it to Marie to post it with that $5 increase.
Right.
So that's where we are with that. And if you see anything, I think there's still one. I think there's still one up for K-Cats, because I had told them about that a while ago. I'm going to double check over by 193. And that I don't know of any others that are still up that should have come down. But if you see anything, let me know.
Ryan,
Yeah.
it looks like somebody's moving into the property on 193 between Thompson Hill and the Speedway, where they had that pet rescue place.
Oh,
Some sort of I got the impression there's some sort of a high tech kind of a thing. I just drove by it and saw a sign in front of it.
The sign is for a company called Synagro, Synagro. Is at least one or multiple companies by that name. So I don't know if it's related to another company or they just happen to have the same name as it. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
yeah. And I haven't gotten any paperwork on it, so I don't know.
I'm willing to
Listen.
go in and introduce ourselves, Brian. Maybe I can get a copy of the turkey trot letter before I do.
Probably a little early for that, especially looking in through the windows. There's nothing in there that I could see unless they
Yeah, I
use
don't know
it
either. I
back
just saw activity, and it looks like it wants to be a higher budget than some of the other signs that we've seen recently.
I'm sure Lafredo will not forget to ask them about Turkey Trot. He's everywhere. Right, Brian?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah. Okay. We're up to new business, which is 630 Riverside. And Robert is here to talk to us, and we're talking about the public presentation.
Yep. How's everybody doing that I didn't say hi to already?
Hi there.
Good. How's it going, Joanne? All right?
Yep. Hey,
Good,
you did
good,
a great
good.
job.
Hey.
Introduction, the thing on Winnie's Facebook page.
Oh, thank you.
Indicating
Yeah. I was been reading a lot about it, and definitely taking a look at the back and forth, and we're actually discussing that prior to, and yeah, it's good. So I don't know if if everybody's aware. So we had 90 days the state had 90 days to approve our application for the environmental liability relief program. We were approved in less than 2 months, and we were approved during August, during vacation time. So that leads me to believe that they were, hot and heavy and moving on this thing. So, the state has already invested into this project. I'm heavily invested into the project. And, the fact that we have such a vision, I think really helped. So, it's really good. Plus, compared to from what's there now to what it's going to be, is a big step. So, everybody, all of you included, I mean, it's been wonderful. I mean, the overwhelming support so far has been outstanding, and I've been looking at just reading into some of the comments and stuff like that, and for the most part it seems very positive and receptive, which is good. So the liability relief program, what that does is that basically um, enters me into a voluntary remediation, a commitment to clean the site once I take title, which is good. So, I'm very fortunate for that. And, what we're going to do is, you know, I don't necessarily have to wait until, we start getting the funding to clean it. I'm going to start working on the site as I go immediately, as soon as I start taking title. So the problem is that there is a mortgage on there's the tax lien, and then there's a mortgage on the property, which is upwards of $300,000. Trying to get in touch with the mortgage holder, not having any success. They're no longer around. They haven't filed their corporation documents in like 4 years. So that's challenging because quite honestly, I would like to not even have to go through the foreclosure process. I like to just cut a deal with everybody and get it done. But unfortunately, there's a mortgage there that I can't find the people for. So what I have to do is I have to take the tax lien and then I have to foreclose out the mortgage in order to take title. That is a little bit of a process, but I'm on it. I mean, I'm working as hard as I can to try to make this happen because, the reality, and Joanne, you know this. I mean, the market's very good in Thompson. I think that there is a very, very good market for especially entry level condominiums. I mean, there's anything under $350,000. I mean, it's flying. How many, Joanne? How many houses are active on the market right now?
9.
9. Okay, that's good. It's been under 10 like this entire time, which is amazing. So I'm excited about that because I mean when we look at the proximity to the to Providence and Boston and Worcester, I mean I was just at a CHFA meeting today and listening to. I was talking to a big developer that I'm potentially going to do some business with, but when I was listening to the numbers that they're coming up with in Massachusetts just to rehab mills and stuff like that, it's like almost double what it is in Connecticut. So that's leading me to believe that the cost to build and the cost of housing up there is going to be starting to drive more and more people down this area. So this is what I see after having 23 years experience in the business. This is the kind of thing I see. So I'm all about Thompson. I love it. I'm I've been through it now, and just when you see the renderings that are coming together and when you start seeing this vision of what it's unbelievable. It's gonna knock everybody's socks.
So
My
let
team is
me,
working hard
so
on
let
it.
me tie that to the actual agenda item, which is the public presentation. So Robert mentioned the detail about that tax lien. So we've been through this song and dance with the big mill, right?
Right.
That it's not like the state of Massachusetts. Robert can't just walk in the tax office and say, I'm gonna pay the note on this property to the town and take control. Here, we have to accomplish that through town meeting. So the public presentation is the pitch, right? It's the public Q&A, it's the build goodwill, it's those of us who are going to be presenting in it, telling the pieces of the story that make sense for the residents to then go the following week and put their hands up in favor of the project at town meeting. My personal feeling on this is that I always hesitate to be too optimistic. I am generally optimistic that we will have a successful result. Regardless of that optimism, everybody here has been around this block often enough to know you don't sleep on it. Because the mischief makers do come out. So plan on being there on October 1st, 6:30 at the library. Plan on being at the library on October 8th. October 1st is the presentation. October 8th is the town meeting. The town meeting notice hasn't gone out yet. They have to schedule, the Board of Selectmen is going to need to schedule a special minute to adopt the warrant for town meeting or whatever that process is. They'll probably do that early next week. And Robert, when you come in tomorrow after we have our conversation with Paul regarding the presentation details, we've just got to go downstairs to Amy's office and hammer out some stuff in that lien agreement.
Sure.
So, this is coming together at a very accelerated pace. As you guys know, I am highly motivated to get as many pieces squared away on the large projects as I can before the municipal election cycle, because again, we have a chaos factor that could present itself. So we're just trying to future-proof as much as we can. So that is the spiel on the presentation.
That the meeting at October 1st is at what time?
6:30 to allow
you.
for a little extra time for Q&A, because they have no night custodian now at the library, so we really can't, like, we can't press our hospitality there too hard.
Yeah.
We want to be out there as close to their 8 o'clock actual closing time as possible. The following week, the town meeting will be at 7. That is the convention for town meetings. So, so we will hold to that, and we shouldn't need as much time for that. So 2 Wednesdays in a row. And for the TBA members, that is immediately after the TBA meeting for October. So when and I think there's 2 or 3 or 4 of us who typically attend that here, we'll go to that, we'll do whatever pitch to the group that we can there and encourage them to tot on down to the library right after the meeting closes, so they can both find out more, but also, I would say, as people in Thompson who have a particular interest in the success of economic development measures, contribute their verbal support.
Yeah, thank you, Tara. And we need everybody there, like everyone that's in support. So this whole group here, please, come down and help us out. Your friends, your family, your wives, your husbands, kids, whoever. Bring everybody. Well, let's just pack the room. Everybody's excited. Everybody's supportive. I can't wait to get this in front of the eyes of everybody. It's going to be very impressive.
I've been working on the presentation deck, which I should be able to finish tomorrow. I expect to be able to finish tomorrow. Today, I sent out a press release specifically about the public presentation. I also forwarded that as an invitation to some of the more organizational potential supporters. So I sent that out to the 3 federal electeds,
Okay.
both
Good.
state senators, the Northeast Chamber, TBA leadership, Historic Society, NECOG. I think I'm forgetting someone, but maybe not. And staff at the Brownfields Division in DECD.
Okay, good. I also have a meeting with Sullivan and Lachey next week. Maybe they could tap on some people that you mentioned in there to try to get them down. So have you gotten any response yet?
I sent it out between 3 and 4 this afternoon, so
Got
I
it. Not a problem.
meeting.
Just curious. So maybe we'll have some by tomorrow. But yeah, anybody, if you have any questions for me, you know what I mean? It just doesn't have to be here. You can email me, you can call me, everybody can get my cell phone. I'm always available. I work around the clock. And that week too, we're going to be doing, we have a very busy week. We have the presentation on the 1st. We have when was Winnie? We have the Winnie on the 2nd.
The next day, it's the morning of the 2nd. So
Yep.
so Robert and I, at the very least, probably just the 2 of us, are gonna do the talk show segment at 9 o'clock on Thursday the 2nd.
Yep.
Great.
And then I'm also going to be attending Community Day on the 4th to answer any
Yeah.
other questions. So, I believe once people get an idea of what's going on, once they see it, I believe that, I have no hesitation to say people are going to be really excited. So I'm going to do whatever I got to do. I want as much support as we can get.
It looks like Andrew has something.
Yeah, question is, what are we doing as a group here to promote this presentation?
What do
Or
you
is it
want to
ta-
do?
Anything and everything? Because like Robert said, I think we need everybody there. We need
Yeah,
more.
we're telling everybody, and if we're part of another group, we're telling them, such as, the TBA.
Are we doing more than just verbal? Do you want me to create something? I know there are other people in the marketing field on this call, but is there some sort of digital flyer you want to create so that we can easily share it, text message, email, start utilizing all of the tech that we have at our fingertips?
Yeah, so Todd, do you want to jump in on that? Because you are our marketing consultant. Your ideas there. Obviously, I sent you the presser and let you know that I already sent it to the easy media outlets, which is Winnie Villager and Siobhan McGurl at Connecticut NBC, because she has done some features on the town in the past. Whether she picks it up or not, of course, you know. But yeah, I think your perspective on that in particular, Todd, would be very helpful.
Yeah, sure. So I have a broader media list, obviously, than just the folks in within reach of Thompson, Winnie, and others. So we'll send that out that way. And I think, yeah, to Andrew's point, I think there's an opportunity here to create our own destiny by pushing out in digital media, social media, other places. So I think using our networks, and I will develop obviously versions of the press release that are suitable for that. So the content is, in some cases, if we have a visual to go with this, Robert, I know you don't want to get the cat out of the bag too much before the presentation, but if we have something to sort of anchor this for social media, for example, it's a little bit more visual. People take more of an interest than just seeing a post with words on it.
Yeah.
So that would help. And yes, I can create if you're developing a PowerPoint deck, there might be a few images there or
Yeah,
visual that we can
I
extract.
do already have I do already have a nearly complete first draft of that, and several image files, many image files, actually, thanks to Robert. Not all of them are equally suitable for use here, and we can talk about some of that. But some that definitely are, for sure, and also images of the site and the building and the guard shack and that kind of thing itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just need enough to create, a quote unquote flyer, which is, 8.5 by 11 PDF size, whatever, and then extract that down to a social post image as well too, just so that we're not pushing out the full 500 words on the press release. So yeah, all that activity is going to have to happen pretty quickly, because you got what, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks?
Yeah, and so I'm a little fussy. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
have sent my guardhouse rendering back multiple times already. I'm like, you gotta change this, you gotta change this. I mean, I mean, my team works around the clock, so I mean, I've already got a guardhouse rendering. Just changing I love the design. I'm just changing the color of it right now. So what I did was I sent it to my designer. Said, all right, first we need, this is 3D animation. It's really cool.
Sure, yeah.
So I've got the guardhouse. And next, what he's working on is he's working on the retail businesses that are going around it with the green.
Mhm.
Working on that next. He gave me about like a 72-hour window on that. So once I have that, then we're going to start working our way back towards the development. So the good news about this whole thing, which a lot of people need to understand, is the condominium units are going to be in the back where no one's really going to see them. You know what I mean? Like the whole hub of this thing is going to be in the front where the guardhouse is. It's really cool. And then over where the triangle little park is, we're going to start some residential units over there, but it's going to be like out of the way, so it's going to be focused primarily on the guardhouse and the hub around the guardhouse with a green and stuff. It's really, really cool. So I'm a
So
little
those will
fussy.
be
I'm back and
important
forth.
pieces.
What's
Those
up?
will be important pieces, Robert, because obviously, even though from your perspective as the owner of the development, the commercial part is somewhat secondary to the residential, which is the bulk of it. The piece
Mhm.
that's going to jazz people is the neighborhood scale commercial, the repurposing of the historic guardhouse, but
Mhm.
certainly it is also going to be important to do at least one like facade rendering of what the fronts of the townhomes will look like,
Oh, absolutely.
for
Yeah, you're gonna
sure.
see that. You're gonna see that.
And
Like I said, 72 hours for this, and then he's gonna start moving backwards into the development. So, we'll see how far he gets. But I mean, I will have like a whole idea of the whole site, it'll all be done. But as far as like people walking around and eating and stuff like that, it's all a process. But they move fast. These people move pretty fast. It's not like you're typical designers that take, months and months to do this stuff. I have multiple people working on this at the same time. So it moves quick.
So I just want to remind, I know that I have said this to you a couple times, but I'm going to remind everybody here, I am not in the office next week, which means I
Understand.
lose a week of being able to do anything from my end.
Not a problem.
So, anything that's getting sent back and forth, obviously copy me. Do not expect me to be the one pushing it around because I have a thing in Hartford every day next week.
Mhm.
So I'm going to get the first draft on the presentation deck done, but before the end of the week. Wait for comments. I'm going to have essentially 2.5 days, the week of the presentation, to make any final tweaks. But any of the back of house stagecraft that goes on between Todd and Robert and members of this commission,
Mhm.
like I say, copy me, but don't depend on me to be the one pushing it to the next person.
Understood. Understood. Andrew's, big help. He's got the genius mind with digital marketing and all that stuff too. So, Andrew and I've been in communication also. And I wanted to discuss, you have the slideshow type projector thing at these meetings, I've
Yeah,
noticed.
yes, there will be a reasonably large projector screen and a digital projector for the PowerPoint. We obviously we have done them here before. The
Okay.
other thing that would be helpful for us, though, for you to bring is once you get your renderings, just to put a little money into getting the nice 2 by 3 foot foam core mounted of your showpieces. Because even though we put them on the
Not a bad idea.
projector
I like that
screen,
idea.
we'll be
Yep.
moving past those as
Mhm.
we go through the presentation. So you want people to be able to sort of turn their attention to that
Cool.
to keep what you're doing in the front of their mind.
Yep.
I have
Yep.
a
Absolutely.
question about materials that might be in your presentation. Is it possible, feasible to say, we expect X number of dollars of tax money coming into the town of Thompson when this is built out?
The answer is yes, and that is exactly why Robert is coming up tomorrow. He and the assessor and I are sitting down together because
Good.
we did that exact same thing for when we did the warm up for assigning lien for River Mill.
Yeah.
Now, the advantage that River Mill had that we do not have here is that we were already 6 years into that. So we had had a lot more time to develop those numbers in a meaningful fashion. We are doing this kind of quick and dirty, but as long as Robert's plan is close enough for horseshoes to what the final plan is, that will give Paul the ability to do some reasonable ballpark projections. So the short answer to your question is yes, Charlie, and we're already working on it.
Then I suggest that be one of these put up on the foam board when people walk into the building. They'll see the picture and they'll see, we expect this type of positive impact on the taxes for the town of Thompson. That's been the biggest point that I've heard people complain to stop, stop, stop. They're worried about their taxes. Show them how it'll favor them. It's the only way that I know to get ready for it.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Is the presentation on the first going to be on Zoom as well, so people don't have to be there to see it?
It's not going to be on Zoom, in other words, so that people aren't going to be able to like interject comments or ask questions. But I did talk to Amy before I left the office today about live streaming to YouTube so that we can capture it and share it again.
Okay.
And so that people can watch it in real time, but kind of like the last big presentation we did up at the school. And that's kind of a chaos management thing, is just to be able to definitely get the word out in real time. But if you have a burning question to ask, in this case, you're going to have to be in the room because we're only going to have, of the hour and a half, I'm only going to put aside a half hour for Q&A. That could be plenty of time, or it could end up compressed. You guys might remember at the last one, there was one guy that just, we could not get him to stop his stream of consciousness. And this is wrong with what you want, and this is wrong with what you, and I have some personal opinions on who that guy was and why he was there being so vocal. Regardless, it ate up a lot of time. And I
Yeah.
can manage the room to a certain extent, but also we can't be heavy-handed in shutting people down. We do want people to have the opportunity to speak. So there is a balance there between, you know, being respectful of people's opinions and moment to speak, but also being respectful of everybody having that opportunity.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it's important that we get it's out there as much as it possibly can. So for people that can't come or whatever, and then also not to that it has anything to do with me, but I won't be even in the state on the 1st. I will be back for the 8th, so I will come to that meeting, but I won't be here for the presentation. So I would like to be able to tune in and watch it myself. I'm excited to see it. I think just to tell you, Robert, I think this is fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll make sure it's something that can be not just live streamed, but captured and shared afterwards, because that is part of the benefit as well, is exactly that. And for the record, if you have to choose between one or the other, the 8th is more important because the 8th is where you're going to put your hand up and actually have a vote. But we do want as many of the allies of economic development in Thompson to be in the room for the presentation as well, because all attitudes are infectious, right? Negative attitudes are infectious, positive attitudes are infectious. And we've seen that work in real time in the numbers game when we've had sort of the crowd of the nattering nabobs of negativity, if you'll pardon me quoting Spiro Agnew, when they were clearly outnumbered by people who were enthusiastic and wanted to roll forward. For example, in that VAD ordinance, that was a very notable moment of how momentum can really carry a room. So yeah, if you have to choose the 8th, but if you can, please be at both.
Absolutely. Yep. And Tara, at the I mean, I know this community, the community day. Is there a table for like the town or?
We're going to talk about that also later in this meeting. We're going to have we have to talk about what kind of presence EDC would share with Mizrac and how we would incorporate you with that. Now, the good thing is if you're doing the foam core mount stuff,
Right. Yeah, so I was going to
it's
ask you.
just to keep it in your car and bring it for the next day.
Sure.
But we'll talk about that later in the meeting, so we don't get too far off track
Okay.
or take too much on this particular item right now.
All good. All good. Does anybody have any questions or anything pertaining to this?
Anybody? Hey, can everybody make it on
You're all
Monday
gonna
the
be there,
1st?
right? Everybody's gonna be there.
Except for Dean.
Both dates for you, Robert. You have my full
Absolutely. I wouldn't expect nothing less from you, brother. Good.
All right. Well, if we're set, we can move on to progress reports. Nothing else for Robert, you sure? Okay, it's overwhelming. I guess not. All right, now Todd is up for our update and discussion for the marketing plan.
Okay. I'm sending a screen share request here. I don't know if you get those.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Okay.
You should be all set.
All right, great. So before I get into the report of work in progress, work coming up, I wanted to, while we were talking, what I'm sharing is a project I worked on earlier this year down in Norwalk that's very similar to what we're talking about for 630 Riverside. In this case, Manresa Island off the coast in the sound off of Norwalk Harbor is a former power plant that was purchased by a local tech billionaire and his wife, Austin McCord and his wife. And they're turning it into a public recreational space, both the marshes you can see and the power plant in the background. So of course, the words are all here that promote the public meeting, what's going to happen, the teams are going to present, da, 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 da. But, because people can't envision it, in this case, we chose one image, this one, just to kind of promote the event in advance. And again, this particular post didn't get too much traction because this is one of the channels we put it out on. But the meeting was overwhelmingly successful. They're under their third public meeting at this point. So it's just kind of an idea of, you know, if we have one compelling visual and we match that up with what's going to happen in the context of the presentation, that will build excitement and that'll get people to come out.
For whatever it's worth, I have actually seen multiple renderings of this project. I was at a DECD event where they talked about it last year. This thing is crazy.
Yeah.
They have, well, you can even read it in the post, 125 acres. A ton of that is on coal fly ash, where
Wow.
a birch forest has spontaneously grown up because apparently birch thrives on coal ash. And they're maintaining that birch forest as a part of it. It's crazy what they're doing over there. It's nice to have a billionaire in your backyard. That's all I have to say. A generous billionaire in your
Yeah,
backyard.
it's quite the story. So that was, you know, I just wanted to kind of share that as an idea for what I can do with just, you know, an image and the text, and we can bury this and build excitement before the meeting. We will, of course, turn off comments, right, Tara?
Yes, we will turn off comments. We had a little incident because I forgot to mention to Todd, or forgot that I hadn't mentioned to Todd, that when the town posts on its Facebook page, comments are turned off so that it doesn't turn into the swirling cesspool of whatever monkeys are in people's minds. And within moments of Todd posting something on, I don't even remember which thing, what was it, about
Facebook.
6:30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It was it's the airline trail, the train.
The airline trail grand opening for the weekend. Within moments, we were off on the ride to Crazy Town. It was insane. So yes, so when posting on the town's official Facebook page, there shall be no active comments.
Well,
We had a similar problem. Oh, go ahead.
What was it? What were they saying?
It was, I don't even remember it specifically, but it was just like, so we're making this post about this lovely event and grand opening, and we were off on, oh, the state's crooked and nobody cares
Yeah.
about us, and like, what is this even for? Who is this? Who is the audience for this?
Gotcha.
I had a similar instance too when we posted about Superior Storage. They just started to, you know, sort of trash it and say, why put a storage facility next when there's hundreds of storage facilities, blah, blah, blah. It was all sort of
That's actually the one it was, Todd. I don't think
Yeah.
it was, I don't think it was the airline trail one. That was the airline trail, that was someplace else. I saw that it was the Superior Storage
Yeah.
thing. And the next thing you know, we're off to the races. Why did the town allow more than one storage business? Crooked people coming from, like,
Yeah.
insane. And Zach is one of, doesn't even live in Thompson, but is one of the finest civic citizens in Thompson as a business owner that we have had in years.
He is.
I was astonished that people could just turn that switch to nasty, vindictive, and for no reason. For no reason. Nice story, successful business. Look at what he did with an old building. It was crazy.
Makes
Yeah,
no sense.
Did
I
you see
saw
the
that
comment?
post. I saw that post, and I did reply to that person's comment about why two, and I said, why an empty building? Let's do something with the properties. It was that a new Facebook page? I don't recall. There was something about the graphic or the name, and I don't know how to set the things so that I can get constant feed from one source. I just, whatever somebody sends me, I look at.
No, Todd is an admin, or at least an admin to post and get background data on the town's Facebook page as a part of the marketing contract. So Marie makes posts, the ACO makes posts, Todd makes posts, occasionally Rec will make posts, but they're official posts. And the policy was set months and months ago in the selectman's office not to allow public comment for this very reason.
Yeah, it makes sense.
There are plenty of places where people can let their freak flags fly on the internet. The town's page is not going to be one of them.
It's Winnie's Facebook page. Brian Lafredo took care of those comments today. I read every one of them, and you answered every negative. Oh, you were great today.
Mhm.
Nice
Yeah,
job.
all kudos to Lafredo, Andrew, and later in the day, Jeff Bolte for
Yes, yeah.
pushing back on some of
Yep,
some of
yep,
the
I read 'em.
conspiratorial weirdness.
Crazy people.
You know, I'm an advocate. I was saying before we get started that, it's actually something that developers didn't have back in the day that's you can actually benefit from by seeing all the negativity that, you could squash real fast and be prepared for it. So, big thank you all for supporting it and, shutting it all down. I appreciate it.
Anyway, not to take away from Todd's
Anyway.
part.
That's
We
okay.
got on a little
No,
tangent.
Todd, it's a great project though in Norwalk. That's awesome.
I thank you. I think it's worth addressing, and it's not exclusive to Thompson. Unfortunately, it's what happens when you put stuff out in public on social media. And as much as I hate to hide or turn off the comments, sometimes the discussion just goes off on an extreme tangent that kind of torpedoes all the goodwill that you're trying to build. So anyway, thank you for your support on that. Anyway, this is just a quick list, a punch list to go down of stuff that's happened since our last meeting, work accomplished and work in progress. So you guys can obviously read. We've been posting on social media and starting to publicize some upcoming events as well. We did do the ribbon cutting event this past week, started publicizing that as well as some other stuff that we've identified for post copy coming up activity wise, some other follow-up action items. I have at least emailed and tried to reach the 2 success stories that we talked about doing next. And I will follow up with these folks. That would be Main Street Gelato and Smokes on Spokes, and certainly other candidates that you think would make a good story for content. Let me know. We have been trying to diligently try to get email contact lists to be able to have an audience for our e-newsletter without a tremendous amount of willingness to share with certain individuals, so not unexpected, but it kind of started with the chamber, and then it extended over to the commercial real estate group as well too, and they're not, they're just protective of their contact list. So I think what we're going to have to do also is to get back to them and publicize our newsletter as an accessible web link, and they can push it out for us, and we won't necessarily have to have access to their membership lists. So I am expecting one from TBA as well as from the rec department in the town. Once we have enough critical mass there, we can start sending out the e-newsletter. And as I mentioned, we'll just forward the content to others who are willing to help us push it out to a wider audience. I know we're going to talk about tonight the Business of the Year awardee, or if you know what that is, or if we can kind of foreshadow that for the TBA meeting. And also, again, down the big story, obviously, for the next few weeks is going to be 630 Riverside. So we will package that. Obviously, nothing will go out on that, Robert Atira, until you guys have looked at that and vetted it and massaged it and giving me guidance on that. So we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Hey, Todd.
Yes.
It might just be a typo, but we have October 24th, America 250 begins on Columbus Day, Career Day, whatever that's.
Yeah, fix that.
Columbus Day's before October 24th, so you might want to take a note of that.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's got
October
Career
20th.
The
Day.
date's wrong. Yeah, I see it. I'll fix that.
Well, Turtle Art, that's their
That's
Career
Turtle
Day
Art's
is
event.
October 24th.
But it's not part of America 250.
No,
The America 250 event on Columbus
begins
Day,
Columbus
Indigenous Day weekend is the Battle of Fairholme Farms. That's the
Oh.
launch event.
Okay. Don't mind my typing because I don't know how to do it. I'll fix it later. What's the career day piece at Turtle Lot? That's not related at all to,
Not to
Not,
America 250.
oh,
no, but it is October 24th.
okay, that's what that is. Okay, fix this date then.
So whatever that is, the 12th or
Yeah,
the 11th, 12th, I think. Because it's at least a 2-day event.
Oh.
I should know better what it is, but I don't. Because I'm not really involved in that piece.
okay, any other thoughts, questions?
No, we can publicize business of the year, but not until after the 4th.
Okay,
So we don't give out, yeah, that'll be close to the vest until we actually announce it.
announced October 4th.
Yeah, we announce it at Community Day. We make it a surprise if possible. So we don't, that doesn't go out to the public. That's why we go to executive session.
In terms of your other follow-up action items, I know we had made some effort to include the business of the month selectees
Mhm.
from TBA. The hitch that we ran into is that not all of them are actually technically Thompson businesses or have Thompson residents who are their business owners. This month, it happens to be both.
Okay,
Greg Corso of Arbor Active, who is also a very active local volunteers on the Wetlands Commission and has done some very kind volunteer work for me in his capacity as a professional arborist looking at some projects in town. So
you just-
I can connect you with Greg.
Greg, okay, what is the business again, Tara?
It's called Arbor Active. So he is, and I may get his credentialing not exactly correct. He's a licensed arborist.
Mhm.
Uh, obviously does tree care and landscape care specific to trees, diagnosis of ailing specimens, has a very conservation frame of mind, and interesting also has a side business of sprouting mushroom logs, which is my favorite thing that he does. So
Yeah, and I dropped the ball on that one,
well,
because
it's all design.
I had been giving these to Todd, and then we went through a couple that were not, either the business wasn't in town or the owner wasn't in town. And I'm some scattered in so many directions, I forgot to give you Arbor Active, so I'm sorry. I'll have to do better.
Yeah, no worries. I always look at the EDC minutes from the meetings and look at the website at least a couple times a week, as well as look at Parks and Rec and other related sites too to see what's going on. So sometimes I get it wrong, like like the America 250 committee. But yes, we
Well,
did talk about it's helpful if we choose a business of the month if it's Thompson based in some way.
yeah, at the same time, I'm keeping Zach, who owns Superior Storage, keep him up on any new businesses so that TBA can contact
Yeah.
them. Um, Trying to keep everybody informed, but yeah, there's a lot going on. So yeah, I'll try to do better next month.
No worries.
Um, do we have anything else for Todd or from Todd? Yeah, you did. I did talk to TBA people, so you did at least hear from them for a mailing list.
I haven't heard from them directly, so
Oh, well, because I got copied. I contacted the president and he contacted the secretary, and I got copied on that, so they should have reached out to you.
I'm happy to follow up if you want to forward that to me. when
Okay,
you get a
yeah, I'll see
chance.
what I have. I thought it was set because that was one of my items from last month's agenda, so I did talk to them in an email so we could follow it. Okay, I'll follow up again.
I have a question for Todd. As
Yes,
you're
sir.
building your list for emails or who you contact on Facebook or other social media, um, like for example, we're doing the train wreck ribbon cutting at the train wreck park, and we talked about that at a special trails meeting this past Monday, and one of the subjects was, well, who else is interested in it if they're not interested in recreational trails? So how do we find people that are only interested in train wrecks? I've got a few links like that and I send it out, but how exhaustive is yours? Maybe I could see it and then, or we could see it. We might be able to fill in the blanks. Like I'm sure that Brian Yashirno has information about car enthusiasts. So if there was something that was going to happen in town, we want to spread it to everybody we can.
Yeah,
And
maybe
one of the
model
points,
train people or something.
that
That's a
kind of thing
thought.
too. One of the topics, one of the things that was just said here, with a YouTube video of the meeting, of the presentation, it's always there.
Mhm.
When we post something on Facebook, we might wish it wasn't always there, but it's always there.
Yeah.
And if it's the right kind of content and it portrays what we want, then we win. We win even if somebody doesn't see that particular post for 5 years, we win because somebody says, oh, look at this. I'm going to go buy a pizza and a beer and see that. That's I saw that post also on Connecticut Trails link just before this meeting. And so, and there's even more information. There's a whole lot more stuff. And it, we just have an audience that we're finally tapping,
Yep.
but there's a lot more. And so how we can build up our contacts on this uh, might be an appropriate little committee kind of thing for the next step.
Yeah. So for traditional media, obviously I have a media list. It includes obviously online sources as well too. When you push something out on Facebook and you try to find other groups that have related interests, one good indicator is the shares, where you can start to see who else kind of glommed onto it, and then I can proactively request to share our post with them going forward. So you can see the one that we did on the train wreck park, the Trails Committee, a guy at Connecticut Airline Trail, et cetera, so on and so forth, Connecticut Trail Finder. So these are clues, obviously, of who has other interests, train related, environmental related, et cetera. And I'm making note of these so that, again, we can kind of have this in our purview the next time we do posts on certain subjects. Like, let's make sure we share with trail adventure and whatever. Because otherwise I wouldn't have as much knowledge of these special interest groups unless I was a fanatic myself. So
Right.
so we cover the traditional media that are obviously general interest in your market, as well as we look for the special interest groups using social media as kind of a clue as to how we build a wider network. If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense. And I should have realized that you already have been thinking about that. You're still in the day-to-day work. I'm retired, so when I see it, I think of it.
Well, it's exciting because, in the old days before social media, they used to, the saying that I was taught early on is in marketing was, with advertising you pay for viewership, with public relations you pray, because you never know who's going to pick it up. In this case, by pushing our message out versus waiting for others we hand it to them and then we see if they actually do something with it before our event. It's much more flexible and fluid to get the word out. That doesn't mean that everything that we do is going to have 100% engagement, and as we talked about, some of it can come back and in negative ways, but it's helpful to have these tools because traditional media is just so different these days than it once was.
Todd, I just sent you something. Just take a look at that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
For my eyes only. Thank you.
Your eyes only.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you guys are wondering what she sent me, but I'm not telling.
I'm not
Okay.
telling them either.
And now we're dying to know because of what you just said.
I'm taking my computer and I'm going home.
Move on, right?
All right. Yeah. So we all said anything else before we move on to, well, next up is Community Day. So, all right, we'll go on to Community Day. Tara, you haven't been to the last meeting or two either, have you?
Last what meeting? EDC?
No, Community Day.
There may have been one I missed. I don't know. I've been to most of them.
Yeah, I missed the last one also because they're doing them on Mondays and we have the 7 grandkids.
Right. Yeah. No, I was at the last one. I mean, look, Community Day is Community Day, right? You guys know what the shape of it is. The piece that is significant, other than Business of the Year, which you know is your annual piece that you manage, is in light of these upcoming efforts. We talked at MISRAC, and I said I would bring it to this, of the 2 volunteer commissions which dovetail so closely together, having an actual presence at Community Day this year, essentially so we can support the 630 Riverside redevelopment, the public event, pushing people towards the town meeting, being there to talk about what's happening, what's important, in a way that we haven't gone out of our way to do before. Now, the downside to this is most of the people here are already going to be there and are already multiply committed to things. The good piece of that is I actually do the layout on the field, so I can get all of the related things close together, or relatively close together, but they're still going to be bouncing back and forth. So similar with everything else, if we can get everybody here to commit to at least being there and taking some time at that joint EDC MISRAC table, if you guys decide to do it, and I don't know that you need a motion and a vote on it, but if you choose to have a motion and a vote on it for the clarity of the record, then maybe Yacino or Lafredo can follow up and just take the task of registering for it with rec, so that it shows up when I do the lineup. I will have a complete list of everybody who's going to be there. The management of what to do there isn't that complicated, right? It's be there, talk to people, maybe have something. I don't know, a lot of people give away apples or candy bars or something, just, to generate that moment of, hey, I'm going to take the freebie and then maybe I'll ask the question.
Well, this is something that we used to do. Remember, Joe, we used to have a table
Yeah.
and we had the Thompson brochures and we had those Thompson bags that we gave away and people could ask questions. We never had a lot of questions, but we're familiar with this. We used to set up a table and staff it.
Yeah,
And because like you said, Tira, people started to be so everywhere that we just hadn't set it up in recent years because we had TBA, we had people all over the place trying to manage the field.
right. And
But
Steve
but it
Lewis,
is a good idea.
I'm pretty sure Steve Lewis from MISRAC said he would make himself available a little bit. And Steve's a great representative. If Robert can handle sort of the foam core display pieces for that, I can try in that week to do a similar thing for some of the grant funded projects that have now, that I have construction documents that we can do a couple of key printout pages on, so people can ask questions about Main Street reconstruction, the 65 Main project, the Swanson Park reconstruction. You know, those are big visuals. And I'm sure that I can get some made. I haven't looked at my actual office budget for that kind of thing in a dog's age because I never do anything with it, but I'm sure I have something. If I don't, if EDC would be willing to take a little bit out of the printing and publications or office supplies line, whatever you have in your budget, just in case I don't have it in mine, then that'll cover it.
Yeah, that would be, I mean,
Sure.
that's what the budget is for. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Brian,
Sure.
you said we used to have a table. Do we?
Yeah.
Will we need to buy a new table and do we have an awning if we're going to set up a presence there?
I'm trying to think of what we used to use.
So
Joe,
Yeah.
you were there, right? Do you remember?
But I
We
don't
didn't buy a
know if-
table.
No, God, no, it's not ours. I thought the rec supplied them, or
So
doesn't-
rec has some tables, and some of the organizations, because you know, they certainly don't have 40 or 50 tables.
No, but it was
So,
probably rec.
Yeah, it's obviously
Okay.
better if organizations bring their own. Now, you guys know I do craft shows. I am not set up as a vendor for Community Day. You're welcome to use my table and my
Holding
and my
table?
base like stretchy cloth that goes over it so it doesn't flop in the wind. That's easy. I'll just toss it in my car. I'm going to be there. It just has to go home with me, obviously.
Okay.
I do have a tent. I do not know the condition of this tent because, as you guys who have seen me at craft shows know, I never use it. I just sit there baking in the sun.
Well, we don't have a tent unless it rains, and then does it get canceled?
Next
Does
day.
it rain?
Well,
Yeah.
you could be out in bright sunshine too.
Well, the tent, it's not so bad. A tent helps with visibility, though, more than anything. You can say, you know, over by that blue tent or the blue one next to the green one. I found it shows that a tent helps that way. The sun's not going to be, I don't think, a bother on October 4th.
I mean, it can be warm, but it's not that long a day. It's 5 total hours. People will be moving around, milling around. You know, the foam core pieces, I have a couple of easels I could even bring, although they're a pain in the ass to transport, but I can do it if I have to. You know, the foam core pieces can be the visual marker. But EDC doesn't have any quote unquote branded gear, right? It's not like you've
Right.
got,
Have a banner
cloth.
or anything?
yeah. And I don't know that there's time to create
No.
such a thing.
I-
Uh,
I have an easy up if that's what you guys are looking for. I can loan you. I won't be here for Community Day, but I can drop it off to somebody before that if that's what you need.
What? What do you have?
he
An
says
easy up, a pop-up tent.
Pop-up tent.
Oh, pop-up tent. Oh.
Well, Dan, yeah, I have one too. Yeah, don't bother, since you won't be here, don't worry about it.
Okay.
If we have to, if I bring my station wagon to the the cruise event, I can fit my pop-up in that.
So Lafredo, can I give you the task, since you are on both EDC and MISRAC, of being the person to register the table with RAC, blah, blah, blah. You're in there talking to Leave and See all the time anyway.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Do we
Look,
need,
look,
do
your
we
shirt
need to
even says
register,
volunteer.
do we need to register both EDC and MISRAC separately or just
No,
together?
it's one table. It's not gonna be 2 10-foot spots, because we don't have 20 square feet of material.
Okay. I was texting them all day today, so it's that time of year.
I'll cross that. I was gonna talk to him, but I'll cross that off and Lafredo will handle it.
Just spreading the wealth. Many hands make light work.
Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, and I am, uh, yeah, Levency had asked to make sure we were gonna have the car cruise, and I am working on that, and I did tell people there's no pizza contest this year.
See, you have all that free
Yes.
time.
Well, you see, the pizza contest is a TBA thing, and it was just me and Sandy Lanessa that was doing it, and Sandy's not been active with us. So I need the TBA itself to be involved in that. So I just said, since it didn't go well last year anyway,
Yeah,
we'll look at it for next year and see if TBA itself, not just me, will handle that.
I think the car show is plenty for you, Yacino.
Yeah, it's all, but it adds. People did like it. It does make a better showing for Thompson.
Agreed.
It's okay. Oh, yeah, I don't see that we have to vote on appropriating printing funds, but if you think we should, we can do a dollar amount, unless you want to check with your budget first, Hira.
I can do that in the morning in the office. I wouldn't have a lot in there, but what I can't remember is if I have anything in that office supplies line because I never actually buy any office supplies.
Yeah,
Well,
you steal them for other offices, I know.
Yeah,
we're
well,
not gonna need more than what, $75 maximum?
Well, and I was gonna say max of 100.
foam core mounting can be expensive, so I would say like $100, and I just wouldn't go over that.
Well, why don't we approve? Why don't
Do
we
it
approve
now.
up to 150, and so
Yeah.
that if it does bounce over 100, she's not in a bind, and then we're covered with the paperwork with the people in the town that think we're squandering all of their money.
And I'll second that motion.
All right.
There we go.
And all in favor of appropriating up to 150 for, okay, anybody opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so, yeah, because there's no reason to be worrying about budget. That's what we have it for.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did we land on? 150?
Up to 150, yes.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
All right.
It's putting it to good use. Yeah, one of these days we should probably get another EDC brochure like we did, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago. Because we gave them out at, times like this, and we had them on the table at the town hall, and the clerk's office had them, and
I know it's throwing a lot of stuff at Todd, but it sounds like he's already catching quite a bit of this. Do we need to update a brochure for that, for this point forward? Stressing some of the victories we've had.
I mean, I did a brochure for you guys as part of the last contract. It's just a matter of how you want to distribute that.
yeah, that's right. We still have that.
Yeah.
Okay,
We do. I will point out, however, that the cost on
Yeah.
making that in a way that would be worth your time and money, in other words, not looking like it was printed off your home printer, would be somewhat significant. We can look into that if you want to have a quantity of them for these events, possibly even for this upcoming community day. Although, again, remember, I'm on a compressed time frame, so
Well, I
unless
can get a,
you guys wants to handle
I can
that.
get a quote for those.
Okay.
Um,
Come on, it's in 2 weeks. How are we going to do all this in 2 weeks? Let's be practical.
we've
Let's-
already got the artwork done.
Yeah,
It
but
might
we've
have to
got
be
not.
tweaked a little bit,
No.
but we've already
So
got the artwork done. So we find a printer. If we're going to have an inventory of these moving forward for public events, public meetings, presentation meetings, all those kinds of things.
Should wait until we have some more concrete things happening before we spend any more money on an old brochure.
Well,
well, not an old one. We're talking about Todd's.
Well, we could
We're
save
talking
it for
about
another.
Todd's brochure.
Todd made us a new brochure last year, but we haven't used it yet.
Yeah. Now I can get a quote on some quantity, whether or not we have time for community day, doesn't even matter. It can be open for discussion.
That's right. It doesn't
Yeah.
hurt to it doesn't hurt to have the quote. So when you quote it, you just need to be sure you're quoting the right thing. You're not looking at color copies. You're looking at 4/4, full bleed, full color printing. Otherwise, it is not worth your money.
Unless you guys want to take a couple relevant pages, do it 8.5 by 11 front and back as your version that can be handed out, because 90% of these are going to end up in the trash cans.
Yeah.
That's
That
true.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Paper
And
version.
barcode on or a US QRS code so that people can go to all the rest of
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. Good idea. So, we could there's a page here that has some statistics. There's several success stories in here. This is available on the website if you want to glance through it, or I can send it to you.
So
You
I
know.
would say if you're going to try to reduce it down to essentially a single piece of paper, I would do a double-sided 11 by 17, so you could choose 4 panels.
Right.
You're still looking at asking for a 4/4 full color offset print with a 4-side bleed. Well, maybe not a 4-side bleed, but a possibility for a 4-side bleed.
I could take the bleeds off too, very easily, and just border it.
Seems
Well, that
like
would make
we're a
it
lot
cheaper.
closer to meeting the deadline than some of us might have thought, and I believe we should. We should have something to hand out. And at this event, at the public presentation event, we can start handing these things out, getting people to think in terms of a more positive aspect of economic development for the town of Thompson.
All
Well,
right,
these could be,
so if we're assigning tasks, which we are a little bit assigning tasks because we're on a timeline, since Yacino has the direct connection at Karen Graphics, which I know is where he likes to go, Yacino, you can work directly with Todd on deciding which panels, right? And you can CC me on all of this, but because my time is so compressed, it's like the other thing. I can't really lead on it for you.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I also work with, I know you'd love to keep the business local, but I work with a lot with a trade printer, and this is right in their wheelhouse. They would ship, drop ship directly to Town Hall to Tira. And I can get your price on that. And if you guys find that that's a lot more affordable and time conservative, then going local, we can look at doing it that way too. I'm happy to do that.
It makes
doesn't
sense
hurt
to
to
have
check.
a second quote.
Right.
We
Yeah,
do
the
like to
place I
keep
use, I give
business as
them,
close to home as we can.
the place I use, I give them something like $40,000 a year
Oh, okay, that's fine too. Yeah.
for printing, and they do everything. But like Charlie said, it never hurts to have another quote. They usually come in lower compared to other local printers, but I don't guarantee that. So yeah, we'll talk. We'll see what we want to get printed,
So then if
and we'll
there's
go from
one
there.
more expense that you might want to consider voting for Community Day, again, it's that, what's the little thing to put in somebody's hand to essentially to put in their mouth when they're walking away, right? The
Yeah.
sodas, the minimal expense, but people are much more likely to stand there and talk to you if you're
So
handing
we
them
need to
something they
approve
enjoy.
spending money for this extra publication.
Well, right now we're talking about something to hand out at the table, is what
Yeah,
Tara is saying.
and
Whether we
apples
give
and
out
people.
waters or candy or,
A
of course,
handout.
all Halloween stuff will be on sale.
Not yet.
Yeah,
It won't be.
Yeah,
Well, it'll be for sale. It
it's
won't
for
be on
sale.
Motion.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to get this thing rolling, okay? For the, how much money do we want to put in here?
300.
We need,
For what?
okay? Well, it's
For-
up to. No, the magic words are up to, so that covers us. If we don't
So
spend
we're
it,
looking at printing costs and we're looking at some candy or something.
That's why I was asking, which one are you making a motion for?
Well, I
And,
think,
I might cover
I think
both.
Andrew was waving to his, thing he has on his wrist
Yeah,
there.
there's a
Yes.
lot of people at these trade shows are just giving out bracelets that might have a social media link to it, a website on it, something that people can take home and after the event remember. They say, oh, look, I got these bracelets on. What is this? Oh, EDC. Let me go check out their website. Let me check out the town website, etc.
What's the setup
maybe we
time on that?
You
as
can
a,
look up like silicone bracelets can be done really quick and incredibly cheap depending on how many you need. Um, just quickly here.
Well, it's no candy, but
no.
There's no
Right.
candy.
Let's get
We can
the
save on
handout.
diabetes.
We still
Could
need to
always-
go into executive session, right, for the business?
Yeah.
I just want to
Yes.
remind you. Okay.
I mean,
No, I know.
I'm seeing some of these things with a 24-hour turnover time. You
So
know,
maybe Andrew, you could take that piece and then
not a
via
problem.
email, we can convene with the 3 quotes and it's not super kosher, but you can manage a vote via email.
I think a bracelet with our town logo on it would be attractive.
That's a
I-
4-color, that's a 4-color bracelet. I'm not sure you can get that.
Well, I just thought it'd be attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, the
That's-
kids like those more than anything, but
If we're going to
Um,
spend money on something like that, I think we should probably spend a little more time thinking about it and being creative instead of trying to hurry up and do it in a minute. Why don't we just forget about? I mean, Community Week Day is in a couple weeks. That's a pretty tight schedule. And when
I
especially
suppose at the very least
coming
we get more information on something new. I tend
Correct.
to think that it's quick turnaround. I think
Right.
that bringing that something that radically different into the equation, because Todd says he won't have any problem sorting out the front and back content for quick handout.
yeah, and I
Um,
think that'll be good. And if we have foam boards, anything to attract.
I'm not afraid of new ideas, and I think that we might want to follow up with this, but if you can show us how we can do it by the 4th of October and
Yeah.
still
That's
fit the
not-
basic themes.
Yeah,
We've
so
got presentations coming
Uh,
up that are very important that we have to consider too. So those
Yeah,
are
the-
more, to me, those are more critical than passing out a pamphlet at a community day. I think the presentation October 1st is going to be super critical, so we should be focusing on that.
Yeah, and there may
That's
be
my-
people
all
coming by who want to talk about the October 1st
Yes.
thing.
Yes,
So
we can talk about that. Yes. So forget the bracelets, I think, and all those other handouts and candy, and let's just get down to the nitty gritty. Why we're really going to be there is to support the presentation on October 1st, which would have already taken place, right?
Yes.
By the time, okay,
Yes.
so we can talk to people, see what their opinions are. Did they go to the meeting? I mean, let's do what we're supposed to do when we get there.
But we have to snag their attention.
Well, that's
Well,
what the foam core
Well,
pieces
we'll
are
be
for.
standing there, Charlie, just yell them, come on over to the table. We'll think of something. I'll wear a clown suit, but
Not a clown suit, you'll be arrested.
let's
yeah, I
move
can
on.
picture that. No, people
Let's move-
will walk by, and if they see a foam board, they will stop to look at it.
Correct. Yeah.
What happened?
That was
Somebody's
just some
leaving?
background noise from Andrew's house. He threw
Oh,
himself
okay.
on.
All right.
Joanne's wearing a clown suit. That's it. It's locked in.
just
Yeah.
real quickly here regarding
Good.
bracelets, so we can move off from this. I can do 1,000 bracelets at $200, or you can even do lanyards that are full color for $380, and that's another 1,000 lanyards. Just ideas.
Okay, that's good for next time. And that's pretty cheap. But
Yeah, and I'm thinking still I'll talk to Todd about a brochure. Well, whether it's ready for Community Day or not, using some of that stuff, even if it's in the clerk's office or on the table in the hall or our next EDC event or town event.
every
That's
time we
not a
have
bad thing to talk about, and use the stuff that he created for us.
I agree
So
with
I think I'd still like
Oh.
to talk to Todd, whether it's ready for the 4th or not. Right? What do you think?
I think what we might have for the 4th is something that could be like a stopgap, front and back, one page, and then we can think, what
Well,
else
that's
could
what
we
Todd was
do?
talking about, Charlie. Looking
Yes,
at something simple like that. So,
something simple. We may want to elaborate it before the year is over, but
Yes.
something simple, something quick, something that'll grab attention and answer questions, and people will take it away.
Guys, it's
I don't know how much money that will cost, but I think that if we need to approve funds for it, then I believe we should. If we're going to buy candy or if we're going to buy lanyards or anything else, we need to approve money for it. And I said 300. I don't know if 300 would be enough for us
Right.
to get the booth equipped and to have
Right.
some things that we can hand out on the date of the October 1st and October 8th, when people
Yeah.
are coming to see what's happening with the economy of Thompson.
yeah, and I don't know how the pricing would be.
Well, that's what you guys are gonna find out. So
We're gonna
Right.
find out
it's
for
9 minutes
put on-
of 8, and Joanne's gonna turn into a pumpkin if you don't go into executive session soon.
That's
Yes.
right.
These 9 o'clock meetings have got to stop. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Um,
Oh, great.
well, all right. We approved a little bit. Do you want to approve a little bit more, like Charlie said, in case we want to buy candy or something, just to have it?
Oh, we've moved on from that, right?
Well,
Well,
once
I
we
don't
move
believe
on, we
we
can't
have,
go back.
Joanne. But I mean, I keep hearing Brian talk about getting together with Todd to work on a brochure, even after we've had some discussion about whether candy was appropriate. I believe, and I'm making a motion, that we provide funds adequate to meet the publication costs, and if we're going to have a handout on Community Day, that we allocate up to $350. I don't believe it'll be that high.
No, but it'll
Because-
cover us just in case, and then we can stop the discussion now. It's just that we're ready. So that's
my
all, that's
motion.
all I'm saying.
okay.
So if Charlie
I'll
wants to make the motion,
I
And
did.
I'll second.
okay.
Okay.
And Joanne
Okay.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so we have something appropriated just in case. We have 2 weeks to decide, but we're covered.
I'm sorry, I
Good.
didn't hear the amount you decided on.
350.
50.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have the updates, grant application, real estate listing. You saw the list of upcoming events. If you
We
want
can
to,
skip, we can skip the grant update for this month. Nothing has changed enough to
okay,
merit.
well,
an
that's what I
update.
was going to suggest. We could go
Yeah,
right into executive session if you'd like.
sure.
Now, Tara, do we make a motion for that?
You have to move to go into executive session, and in executive session,
You have to move to get out.
come
Get
out
out,
of it,
yep.
and then Lynn does stay in, so she can record those things, but she does not take minutes. And
Yep.
I will turn off the recording and not allow anybody new in. And it is up to you if you would like Robert and Todd to stay in here. I'm pretty sure we can count on them not to share the information. Might be beneficial to have Todd stay in, since he would be then
Yeah.
perhaps reaching out very soon thereafter. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other on that, but those are the steps. You got to move to go in, recording goes
Move
off,
to go.
move to come out.
Right.
All right,
I'll make a motion to go into executive session and include our guests.
I'll second that.
Okay, I am turning off oh, you've got to vote to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aye.
All those in favor? Okay, any opposed? All right, we're going into executive session, kids.
Okay, exit executive session at 8:02, Lynn.
Okay,
Got it.
the final thing that we had to do when we got back from executive session is to talk about next month. The Meet the Candidates night is next month, October 15th. So we have a choice. We can forego the meeting. We could try to meet at an earlier time, or we could postpone it to another day. And I find that postponements are especially difficult. So like to hear your thoughts. And I already talked to Tira about it, and she figures we're probably okay to forego the October meeting and make it, if we can, to the Meet the Candidates. So what are your thoughts?
Move the meeting to where? The town hall?
No.
No.
Cancel your meeting so that you can all attend the candidate night forum.
Oh, okay. All right, so then that means just no EDC meeting.
Well, that's what I'm
all.
asking for your thoughts. If there's nothing really pressing, we can do without the meeting, and if something comes up, we can handle it. Unless someone thinks that we really should reschedule or meet in an earlier time on that day.
I think with the exception of Turkey Trot, we will have accomplished our busiest part of the calendar year.
Yeah.
If we are going to have brochures of some sort to hand out at Community Day, should we hand them out at that meeting also?
At what meeting?
At the meeting for Meet the Candidates?
No, absolutely not. That's
Okay.
That's
That's
Thompson
why
Together's
I
event.
asked. If I had all the answers, I'd be somebody else.
Yeah.
We all would, Charlie.
Yeah.
All right, so is everybody okay? We'll reconvene in November as far as the EDC meeting.
Okay, yeah, all right.
All right, and Lynn will post something about not having a meeting, and
Yes,
Nope.
please.
So
What
Todd, you
time
could
does Meet
just,
the Candidates night start?
off
I
the
think
top of
it's
my
at
head,
7.
yeah, I think 7. So Todd, for that month, for month of November, just provide an email blast update to
Mhm.
the commission, and you'll be absolved of any other responsibility.
Okay.
Got it.
I have 6:30 in my calendar for Meet the Candidates night. I might be off.
That
But
might be when they open the doors.
Okay.
Although since you are a candidate, your information is probably better than mine.
I have
But I
6:30
believe
as
they,
well.
yeah.
We want you to show up, right?
Yeah, and it is possible. I talked to Beth Goldsmith, and I don't remember if she gave me 7 o'clock or 6:30. Tell you the truth, I was thinking it was 7, but yeah, like Tira said, Andrew would probably know.
Well, can we get a blasted email to all of us to remind us of what time it is, or to correctly tell us what time it is?
Yeah, I'll send you something.
I also
Thank
have an email into Beth right now, because I'm looking to jump on the marketing of that as well.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great, then we'll see everybody then.
All right.
And on October 1st.
Yep, October 1st, October 8th,
We're gonna be
October
spending
4th.
so much quality time together.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. All right. So, I mean, if we're all set, I'll adjourn the meeting at 8:07.
Good night.
Great.
Good night.
Thank-
Talk to you
Good
soon.
night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Have a lovely.
Have a good one, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything.